Hey there! So when becoming vegan, there are a couple of things that makes it kind of hard for people to transition. And by people, I mean me. I mean, there's the obvious of giving up meat. But then there's also egg and cheese. Those are two things that are just so delicious that is sometimes hard to find a substitute for. And once we find a substitute for it, then we really haven't looked back. I've already shown you a few recipes where we either substitute the eggs like for baked goods, or we actually make like the vegan omelet, the scrambled eggs, scrambled tofu, scrambled eggs, whatever you want to call it. And today I'm going to show you how we substitute out cheese by making yummy macaroni and cheese, and we're going to do a nacho cheese sauce. Basically a cheese sauce that is very versatile that you can use for lots of different things, including like broccoli, rice and cheese, or just broccoli and cheese. You can use it on casseroles, you can use it for whatever. So watch now as I show you this really easy, delicious, quick cheese recipe. Okay, so you're gonna need some raw cashews, and I rinsed these. You wanna make sure you rinse them well. The trick to this is if you don't have a Vitamix, you really wanna pay attention to this part. You wanna only add enough water to just cover the cashews, because this recipe calls for about 4 cups of water, but you don't wanna put it all in at one time or you're not gonna get the cashews blended up really well. The Vitamix is really good. So this is 1 cup of cashews. I'm using some red roasted peppers, and that's probably about half a cup, but you only need like about 1/4 cup or so. It's really for color, and it does give a little bit of flavor. I'm using nutritional yeast flakes. It gives a really cheesy, buttery kind of flavor to dishes. I'm going to put, oh, it's brand new. Brand spanking new, folks. Okay, I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of that in there. Okay, and I am going to use some onion powder. Can you see that? Onion powder? Okay. Is this brand spanking new too? I guess so. Open. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use a tablespoon of this onion powder. You can use raw onion as well. I would use maybe 1/4 cup of raw onion. I have done that before. And a tablespoon of salt. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but cheese is salty, so if you don't put the salt, it's not going to taste cheesy. But if you want to, you know, decrease the salt, you know, by all means do what works for you. And I'm gonna, this is like half of this size lemon. I'm gonna squeeze like half of that. I mean, I'd say use about like 3 tablespoons or so, 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon. This gives it that like cheesy like tang, you know what I mean? All right, and I'm going to blend that up. Come on, baby. Nope. Alrighty. Oh. Alright, so do you see how that looks? It has a cheesy color, like a cheddar cheesy kind of. And it's pretty loose right now. But one thing that I love about cashews is that it thickens as you cook it. but it only really does well if it's blended well. Like I've done this with like a NutriBullet or one of those other kind of things that I thought, hey, this blends up really well, and it didn't blend up as well. So if you have a regular blender, I would suggest that you maybe soak the cashews for at least a couple hours, and then just make sure that when you put it inside of the blender that you only put enough water to blend it really well so it can really grind it. Because if you fill it up with water, with the 4 cups of water, it's just going to spin it all around. It's not going to get the bits, you know, well grounded. I'm just going to get this last bit of cheesy goodness from off of here. Alrighty. And then you basically just let that simmer. You want to make sure that you get a little whisk and you're, you know, stirring that so that it doesn't stick to the bottom, because it can stick to the bottom. So you just want to keep an eye on that. All right, come here, honey. I'll just show you what this looks like. I'm always like, I don't know, maybe I'm still learning how to do this camera thing. Okay, I just want you to see it. Okay, see it? So right now it's like, see, it's already starting to stick a little bit. So I'm just gonna whisk it a little bit, make sure it's not up too high. But you see how loose that is. And I want you to watch as the magic happens. Okay, I want you to see what's going on here. Now it's starting to boil. I'm going to turn it down because it will start to bubble over. I'm going to turn it on low at this point. And I don't know if you can tell yet. Ow, 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 ow. Hot? Hot? Okay. Oh yes, this is so ghetto. I know. I broke my whisk and I need to get another one. This is like a mixer tool, okay? I don't know if you can tell, but this has gotten really thick. Oh, okay. Let me just turn that down, way down. And it's really bubbling. See? Look over here. You see how thick that is now? So basically when it thickens up like that, it's ready. You can use this now. Now, just so you know, what I do is this cheese sauce that I pretty much use for like if I wanted to put it on broccoli. I have done a rice broccoli casserole. I use this for macaroni and cheese. And a lot of times I'm using this for like nacho cheesy kind of thing. So if I were going to use this for nachos, I put in a little paprika, a little smoked paprika, just to give it kind of a smoked flavor for the nachos. When I make my macaroni and cheese, if you wanted to do like the stovetop version, my kids like it when I add just a little extra cheesy, so I'll put some kind of cheddar style cheese inside of there to do the macaroni and cheese. So I'm gonna do that now because I'm gonna add it to this gluten-free rice pasta. It's the Tinkiata brand. I like it because it's very forgiving. It doesn't get real mushy, and you can like even overcook it accidentally, and it's good. So this is totally optional. You don't have to add this cheese. It's really good all by itself. Like I said, when I do the nacho cheese, I usually don't add this, but because I'm going to use half of this to show you how I do like a macaroni and cheese, and then the other half I'm going to use for nachos and cheese today, because that's what we're about to eat. Actually, I love this base, this cashew base, like what I showed you. With the cashews, yeast flakes, lemon, salt, and onion. That's my go-to base when I'm making cheesy type sauces. Like I'm going to show you in another video how I use that same base minus the roasted pepper, and I make a fettuccine alfredo by adding different seasonings to it. and different herbs to it. I also use this base to do an enchilada sauce by adding tomatillos to it, like a salsa verde, a green herb salsa. So it's super versatile, and it really like satisfies that cheesy craving. Okay, so that's melted. You can see the cheese is melted in there. So for the stovetop version, which my kids like, and it's usually just because it's quick, I have to say they probably like the baked version better. I like mac and cheese baked. It just makes more sense to me in my head. Maybe because I was just raised that way. But it doesn't seem right if it's not baked. But it's okay. This is like your Kraft mac and cheese. And I'm going to put this right on there. So you can see. All right. So that's this is our Kraft mac and cheese. I'm going to just stir that up. My kids like it super creamy. They're about to eat this up. Add more. They like it super creamy. Creamy. Okay, now if you're gonna bake this, you want to make sure that you add a little bit more water and that the noodles are swimming in sauce, like literally swimming. If you have questions about that, or you try it and it doesn't turn out right, I can do a video and just show you exactly how I bake it, but my kids actually want to eat this like right now, so I can't bake this one. I'm using half the recipe to show you how I do the Kraft mac and cheese, and then I'm going to use the other half to show you how we do nachos. Ooh, and they love it super creamy, so. Alright. If you want me to make it cute, I can put some, you know, parsley on top or something. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I just licked it. Okay. So that is what the Kraft mac and cheese looks like. It totally looks like mac and cheese. And often when I make this for people, they don't even know the difference. All right, so with what I have left over here, I'm gonna add that smoked paprika. Okay, I don't know if that's focusing in on that. See that? Just to give it like a, I don't know, I like that smoked flavor in my nacho cheese sauce. So I add that to it and stir it around. You can add jalapenos to this. I like to do that. I like sliced or diced jalapenos. So these are grain-free, like a cassava-based tortilla chip. If you've ever tried those, they're pretty good. Found them at Whole Foods. Sea salt made with avocado oil. And you would just put it on your plate like so. And get the, okay. I'm not guaranteeing you how pretty this is gonna look when I'm done. I'm not really a pretty cook. I'm a yummy cook. Yummy healthy cook. Because my kids won't eat it if it ain't healthy. I mean, they will eat it if it's not healthy. They won't eat it if it's not yummy. All right. So, that's what the nacho cheesy looks like. Delicious. They want to eat. We gotta go. That's good. I promise you this is good. You gotta try it. If you do try it, be sure to leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm eating. If you like what you see so far, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment if you try it. You know what I mean? People don't always believe, but if you comment, like some people send me personal messages because they're my friends on Facebook. They're like, no, leave a comment so everybody can know that it's really good. Okay. I gotta go get my kids because I want some. Cool. What are you doing?
This is good. Good.